The Nigerian police have stopped protesters in their tracks as they gathered at the National Stadium in Surulere in response to calls for a revolution by Omoyele Sowore. Over the weekend, operatives of the Department of State Services had arrested Sowore for threatening public peace with the announcement of protests, but his arrest didn't stop his supporters. Policemen were on ground at the National Stadium to keep the peace, but Abisola Adebayo reports that their reaction to the protesters was brutal.
This was the harsh treatment meted out to members of Global Coalition for Security and Democracy in Nigeria by a combined team of police and military operatives. Their offense is an attempt to stage a protest which the government says will incite a revolution. With guns and batons, the protesters are violently dispersed, with many arrested. Journalists who had gathered to report the planned protest were not spared. The police then explains why such measures were taken.
Their gathering is unlawful, and an unlawful gathering is supposed to be discharged. So we have to dislodge them because they don't have any permits. Nobody permitted for that gathering. And in as much as the gathering is unlawful, they have to be dislodged. That's why we dislodge them.
With their planned protest ruined, members of the group organized this press conference to express their displeasure.
A constituted protest within the confines of the law. When we got there, we were all assembled peacefully. The security agents came and said we should move away. We said no, we are citizens of this country, and Nigeria is a signatory to the Treaty of the Geneva Convention of the Fundamental Human Rights 1948 as amended. I said, so why must we? He said, okay, they gave us a place, we stood there peacefully, and I was able to talk to my fellow comrades and we maintained orderliness. So my dismay and my flabbergastion, I saw a policeman in team came up. All manners of policemen and security were all there. There was no security that was there. If we had this type of security in Nigeria, and there is still insecurity, there is kidnapping, there is armed robbery, there is ritualism, there are all sorts of things, manner of social devices that does not favor the Nigerian ordinary masses, then there is a conspiracy somewhere within our government.
The group is also demanding the immediate release of their members and an unreserved apology from the federal government.
The battle continues. Yes. We are going to be announcing the next convergence of action to members of the press. And we are also, in conjunction with the Nigerian Bar Association, going to be pressing for the immediate release of members that have been arrested.
The failed march was to protest what the group described as bad governance in the country. They say despite the harsh treatment, they will continue to organize more protests.
Our democracy, which so many people paid supreme sacrifice to realize, cannot be turned to a plutocracy before our very eyes. The level of oppression, exploitation that the plutocrats under President Muhammadu Buhari is subjecting to Nigeria is better experienced than expressed. And that is the only one reason we join voices with the voice of all other Nigerians within the context of the core Coalition for Revolution to say that enough is enough.
They should release Omoyele Sowore, and we have freedom of speech in this country. To the Nigerian masses, do not fear. There is no struggle, there is no progress without struggle. Every one of you is tired of what is going on, and you have a right to peacefully come out and tell them the truth.
Over the weekend, leader of the protest, Omoyele Sowore, was arrested and detained by operatives of the Department of State Service, DSS. The secret police says the group crossed the line when they decided to spearhead a revolution against the government. Abisola Adebayo, TV 360, Lagos.